There's also a queen egg roll out there. I don't think they're affiliated with
Ooh.
king egg roll.
Uh-huh.
We'll see if they're good or not.
Welcome to No Ordinary Friendship.
I'm Emily.
And I'm Teresa.
Let's catch up. Okay.
Hello, Emily.
Hello, Teresa, and hello, listeners. We're doing a late night podcast.
After dark. It's so strange because like the sun set outside.
Yeah, I feel like this week was just like all of a sudden life turned upside down, and it was just because I am temping again.
You're a working girl now.
I'm a working girl. I can't sneak off to record with Teresa on a
But you're not
weekday.
just temping. I feel like you're temping like a full-time person right now. So it's not like
I know.
a few days here or there. It's very much a full-time gig.
Yes, yes, it was not really anything that I planned, and I was like, "Oh, is this what happens when you manifest?" Like, I was like, "Oh, I'm gonna manifest money," but I didn't mean I wanna work for it.
God damn it. I hate how those two are related.
And it's not even, like, a lot of money.
It's a good
Anyway,
amount.
I'm just enjoying, like, my work perks, my free lunches, my free snacks. I've been trying lots of different beverages, but let's get into it.
Okay. Wait, hold
Um,
on. There's also
yes.
this psychic in SF that kind of blew up
Uh-huh,
because this girl was talking about how she went to her psychic, or not even her psychic, just like a psychic, but like a lot of the things that she said came true. And she gave
uh-huh,
specific examples, and it was a psychic that she saw years ago. And so now this psychic is like really, really popular, and other creators have popped up
ooh,
on my For You page talking about how they're trying to get appointments. And I believe she's just like this psychic that's based in North Beach. Looks like any other psychic storefront, to be honest. But
uh-huh,
what's really making me want to go too is because there's a lot of people commenting on this girl's video saying that they also saw the same psychic and they got
uh-huh.
really good energy from her. And a lot of the things that she said also came true. And
We need to go.
because the examples were so specific, it wasn't like, "Oh, you'll find a job that you love one day." It was, like, so specific about, the people like, her husband is somebody that she already met, and at the time, she wasn't dating anyone. She's like, "God, I really hope it's not some guy that I already met," because she dated everyone before then. But, yeah, maybe when, like, things die down.
Yes, let's
Yeah,
go.
because I do
I've
think it'd
never
be
been to
fun.
a psychic.
And now I just get so many psychic fortune teller things on my For You page, and there's these girls in their 20s. There's like when you crash out so hard at like 1 a.m. on a Wednesday, you end up in the psychic's apartment. And it was like her and her best friend, like getting their palm read. I could
Wait,
totally
I want
see
that to
that.
happen to us. I
I
really do wanna
know.
go see a psychic.
Do you really?
Yeah.
Yeah, me
I don't
too.
know. I do and I don't. Like, I
I'm a
only
little
wanna know good
scared.
news, I guess.
Um, okay, sorry. You said manifesting this job thing and then made me think of the psychic.
No, that's okay. Actually, that's, like, way more interesting than my breaking news anyway, but my breaking news was, last week, before I started my temping,
Mhm.
I, volunteered for Charlie's school to take her on her field trip, which was just a trip to Safeway with their 5th grade buddies,
Oh,
and they were supposed to, like, be raising money or earning money before the trip and then use the money to buy food to fill kinda like a food bank.
oh, okay.
And, it was really cute, and it was fun to watch them walk around, but man, was it depressing because Charlie and her buddy combined had $50. I was like, "That's a good amount." Like, they're gonna get, like, a cart full of food, right? Because it's, like, staples. It's, like, canned vegetables, canned
Yeah,
soup. Not like buying fresh steak,
right.
but they they were able to get down their whole list of things, like everything on the list, but literally, like, that's it, nothing left over, and they spent, like, $49, and
Wow.
that's it? Like, it feels like nothing, you know? The cart wasn't even halfway full.
Wait, so
And
did they have to go raise money at the store first, or did they have money?
no,
Yeah.
so they were each supposed to for the past basically during Lent, they were supposed to find a way to make money. So obviously, like, she's in kindergarten, she can't do that much, but our things were like helping to do extra chores and we'll give you some money.
Ah.
And she was also supposed to like bake cookies and sell them, but we never got around to that.
Oh, that's too bad. You would be so
I
good at
know.
that. I would buy from
But
you.
I it was really sort of like we were being charitable to her because we were like, "How much should we give her?" At the end. But
Oh,
honestly, I'm glad because we were debating like 20 or 30. If we had given her 20 and her buddy had 20, I don't think they could have afforded everything on the list, which is crazy.
I mean, and you think about what minimum wage is these days, like,
I
it's not
know.
even enough to cover the groceries that you're talking about. Wait, was she
Yeah.
buying, like, for a full meal or a week's
So,
worth? Or
no, it was like a list of things like dried pasta, rice, peanut butter, canned tomatoes, canned
mm,
fruit. I forget what else, but there were probably like 10 or 12 things on the list. But I just expected the dollar to go a
more.
little bit farther, and
No.
it was Safeway, not even like Whole Foods or,
Right, right.
Erewhon.
No, I feel like you really have to, like, buy things on sale
Yeah.
in order to really stretch that dollar. Like,
Yeah.
even when I went to Costco, because there's certain things that I always buy there, like lotion and moisturizer, I'm like, "I will not
Hmm.
buy this if it's not on sale," because I know it goes on sale.
Yeah, totally.
Oh, but that's so sad though.
I
But I'm
know.
glad they got everything on their list.
Yeah, yeah. I was just like, "Oh my gosh, I know I always gripe about money, but it really is just crazy how like not far our dollar goes these days."
Really, it's so true. Um, sorry. My breaking news is just like a 180.
No, your breaking news is way more entertaining, so please share.
So last week I talked about how my husband wanted to host a Easter egg hunt, which is happening tomorrow. Um,
Yes, it's happening.
it's happening, and I'm very much like trying to be hands off. This is his thing, more so because I never wanted to throw this party in the first place, and I want him to feel a little bit of the pain that goes into party planning and like the logistics of it all.
Yeah.
But time and time again, he has proven to me that he doesn't know how to plan ahead, um, or like really think through like some of the things that just have to get done beforehand, right? Like you can't spend the last day scrambling.
Yeah.
You source all the things that you need and then you like scramble at home the day at the party, you
Yeah,
know?
yeah.
Or like you panic clean. Like that's how it's
Those are the
done.
last things.
Yeah, that is what is on the list. But I just feel like because things have gone so I don't know, it's just like funny the way he thinks. Like he didn't think to like buy the Easter eggs ahead of time. It just so happens that his grandma got a big bag of candy from the casino, which is why we have all the
Oh,
candy,
wow.
And so even for food, I was like, "What are we gonna do about food?" And he's like, "Yeah, I think we should feed people." And I was like, "Yeah, no shit." Like, but like what
You're like,
exactly
"That
are we
wasn't my
Yeah,
question."
that was exactly it. That's not my question. So I just feel like it would be really interesting to have a TV show where these men, usually men, corporate men that like never had to really think through, I don't know, like pulling off a
Events, maybe?
party. Yeah,
Yeah.
events would be a little bit too hard. I feel like I would struggle with that too, but just like, a child's birthday party. Like
Yeah.
the same things are there. Like you need plates, you need napkins, you need forks and utensils. Like I just feel like Steven would go back and forth like in because the party's going to be outside. I could just envision him going back and forth inside and outside the house like 25 times. Like because he doesn't think about like what exactly he needs to bring outside for one trip.
I love that. I think we should pitch it. I don't know to who, but like different types of not just parties, but just different like tasks. And then you assign like a team of like two dads or
Yeah.
husbands and then
Yeah.
see how they fare.
Yeah. And I do think it would be funny because in my mind, I'm thinking like, okay, if it were like Steven paired up with my dad, how far could they really go with this challenge?
Ooh, actually, that would be a fun pairing, like a son-in-law and a father-in-law. And then like a son and a father, or like two brothers.
Yeah,
And
Two
then
Brothers could be good. Yeah.
they have to complete like a series of like 5 events. So a
Oh,
birthday party,
yes.
what else?
Um, like planning a school event, I feel like could be challenging, like a field trip.
Ooh, a
Um,
play date even or something? Like start simple.
Start
Play
small,
date.
yeah. Like get that person's number.
Oh my gosh, try having them, arrange summer camp for your
Oh,
kid.
yes. Oh, yeah, that's, like, next level though, Emily. Like, you gotta
That would
give
be
them
the
certain
final
parameters.
final challenge.
The final level. What did you call it? Like, the last stage or the final boss? No, but I have to give him some credit though, like, he stuffed, like we bought 150 eggs, so he stuffed those, but then we bought 50 more because we didn't know if it was gonna be enough. Um,
Uh-huh.
honestly, it's just hard to know how many eggs to buy, it's very confusing.
I know,
So,
it's whatever. However
yeah.
many you have is enough.
But we went actually to a great sorry to change topics again, but we went on this Easter
Not
egg
at
hunt
all.
today, and I thought it was really cool because after the kids were all done picking up the eggs, they had these big plastic storage bins and it said egg
Mhm.
return on them. So you basically like take all your toys
Ooh.
out and then you throw all your plastic eggs back in and then they reuse them the next year.
I
So
love that, that's so
sustainable.
smart. Because parents don't want them, like, I have a bunch of
Yeah.
eggs now, and I'm like, "What do I do with these?"
Oh my God, bring them over and scatter them around my house and then
But they're empty.
it's okay. Those are the bad luck eggs that people get. It's life.
If you get those, you have to do a chore.
And you won't get any money from it. That's so sad. That's not the spirit.
But yes, I like that, the whole egg return thing.
Yeah, I thought it was a really good idea because 'cause you're right, nobody wants them. Like, the kids play with maybe 5 of them, and then after a while,
Mhm.
they don't want them anymore,
Yeah.
and we
I'll
don't
just
need more
keep them
plastic.
for whoever's doing it next year, and we'll
Steven was
drop them
like,
off at their house.
"No, Steven is ready to make this an annual thing." I don't know what's happening in his
Oh,
brain
I
right
love
now,
that.
but he is on a party planning roll.
Yay. This is it. You're beginning my dream of our potluck phase,
Oh,
except it's
yeah,
like Easter egg hunts or whatever.
with egg rolls. Okay, yeah, but that's my TV show pitch. If anybody out there is listening and wants to do some reality TV with us, let me know.
Yes.
We have way
Yes,
more
if you
ideas.
have any connections in the reality TV world,
This
tell
was just
us.
off the cuff. Me and Emily have way more ideas.
Should we move to guess how much or what do
Yes.
you want?
Mhm.
I thought it would be kind of fun for the listeners to hear the whole egg roll debacle, actually.
Oh.
I feel like it became a whole thing this morning.
Okay, yes, because my husband was not ordering food for all the people that are coming over. So we have 15 adults and what did I say, Emily? Like 13 kids coming
13,
over?
yeah.
And like 2 babies, but they're not gonna eat. We're like, "Okay, it's like in the afternoon, we have to feed them, we can't just have snacks, let's have some hot food." So we're gonna get king egg roll, which is always a hit in the Bay Area. And for those amount of people, grown-ups and kids, I was like, "How many egg rolls do we need?" I was thinking 50 to be safe.
Mhm.
Steven was like, "We should order 150 egg rolls." And I was like I thought he was joking, but he wasn't joking. He was like, "Everyone can eat like 4 or something." And I was like, who is eating 4 egg rolls? I don't even think you can eat 4 egg rolls because the ones from King Egg Roll are pretty
Yeah,
damn
they're
big.
big. And maybe he was, like, really hungry when you guys were having this conversation, because I was just
Then
trying to picture, like, why he would come up with that number.
and then he rolled it back to 100, so then I asked in the group chat, and the group chat well, you said 20
I
to
know, I was
30,
very conservative.
but thinking back, I'm like, "Okay, that's probably accurate. Not everyone's gonna eat one, and
Yeah.
there's gonna be other food." Our other friend
In
said
my
40.
mind in my mind, like, most of the kids wouldn't eat one, and then the adults would maybe have, like, 1 or 2, because
Yeah,
it's not their main meal, like, they would've had lunch already.
I would think
So,
so, but and
I don't
not
know. I
everyone
try
likes
not to waste food, so I was like, "You wanna have it all eaten."
no, that's so true, but thinking back, though, this is, like, super on brand because we got dim sum for Tyler's 4th birthday last year,
Oh,
and
yeah, you told me.
we ordered way too much, like, I had to be fair, like, I also had no idea how to estimate, and we were just running around
Yeah.
that park being like, "Who wants dim sum?" Because it was just way, way too much, and we could never finish eating it.
Yeah. Like, when we did Charlie's birthday party, the place actually has a guideline. Like, oh, I think they said like 2.5 slices per attendee is how you should estimate
For
how much
what,
pizza
pizza?
to order.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. But then I was lucky because one of our friends, they had a birthday there like a month before us, and they're like, we had way too much pizza. This is how many you should order. So I like downsized. And I think I obviously hate when events don't have enough food and they run out,
Yeah.
but I think so many people these days tend to way overestimate,
Yeah.
and like you really don't need that much.
I know, but it's better to be safe than like have way too little food, which is why people way over
Yeah.
order. Like, what if somebody's like a Logan out there, and you have 10 Logans attend your party and then you're like, oh no.
That's true. I did not account for Logan in my calculation.
Oh yeah. Okay, so I ordered 50, or I ordered actually a
Wait, I
combination
thought
of
you said
50.
they were closed.
So we're gonna go to a further one.
Oh, okay, there's another
There's
one that's
also
open.
there's also a queen egg roll out there. I don't think they're affiliated
Ooh.
with pink egg roll.
Uh-huh.
But we'll see if they're good or not.
Okay, sounds good. I'm excited to have them. Okay. My what do you want is I feel like in the very working in the office frame of mind because that's what I did
Mhm.
the past 3 days. And it's funny, I only worked 3 days, and Friday morning, Cassie was like, when are you going to stop working?
Wait, how does she even know?
Because we've had to do things a little bit different. Like, I couldn't go to assembly for Charlie. I just dropped her off and then dropped Cassie off. And then,
Uh-huh.
like, I've been picking up Cassie first instead of Charlie first. And I just say, like, oh, we have to do this because mama has to go to work. And so they
Oh,
know, like,
okay.
that's the driving reason.
Yeah.
But anyway, it is freaking cold in the office. So the office is in Menlo Park, which right now is like pretty warm, But I
Yeah.
was so cold, so I started shopping for oversized cardigans because I'm like, I need something like warm but slightly, professional looking.
Totally.
And instead of being able to shop for like fun, flowy dresses, I'm like, where are the cardigans?
That is one thing I do not miss about the office. It is always freezing in there, like, no matter what.
Yes. And
And I
the
rem
outgoing person, she was, like, training me a little bit, and I told her, like, "Oh, you're really smart to wear that sweater," and she was like, "Yeah, honestly, all year round, same thing. Like, it doesn't matter what the weather is outside, you wear the sweater."
but why do offices do that? Because it costs them more
I
money
don't
to pump
know.
all that AC in.
I agree. It's dumb.
You know why? Some, like,
Why?
man gets really hot and sweaty, and then he made that, like, the mandatory temperature. Because every single
Probably.
female I know in the office is always cold.
Yeah.
Always. It,
Yeah,
like,
I don't
doesn't even matter
know.
what type of office it is. Like, I remember this
Maybe
one
it's, like,
girl.
to keep people awake or something.
Yeah, that's true. But I remember this one girl would wear fingerless gloves at her desk because she was just, like, typing, 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 and her hands got all cold.
Oh, yeah, my hands were cold.
Man, okay,
Um,
well,
okay.
how much is it?
Oh, I don't have a how much, it was just what do I want,
Oh,
and I don't really know, I'm thinking about trying, Quince because 'cause I've been getting a lot of ads for that,
yeah.
and it's way
Emily,
cheaper than that Cynthia Rowley one that I wanted.
have you ever shopped at Quince before?
I have, but I only bought, they have these pants that are like elastic waistband, but they kinda look like
Mhm.
work pants, so I bought those, and
Okay.
they're fine. The only thing I'm missing is they don't have real pockets, they have fake pockets.
Ew, ew. Why even bother?
I
That's why
know.
it's cheaper. Okay, Quince, I heard a lot about them. I haven't bought anything
Mhm.
from there. They advertise on every single podcast, I feel like. But when I went to the website, I really liked what they stand for though. Like quality goods, like not the branding and
Mhm.
price. But couldn't I feel like they've done a good job marketing themselves because like aren't they just a dupes website? Like all they
Kind
sell
of,
are dupes.
yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
everything they're like, "Oh," because even in their advertising on social media, it's, like, comparing some more expensive brand to whatever they have, but, like, clearly
Yeah.
they just copied everything one to one.
Yeah. I think so. This is actually very, kind of on topic with what we're going to discuss next.
Yes. Yeah, so pop culture, luxury goods, and China has completely taken off on social media because
Yeah.
of the tariffs that are happening, and so Chinese manufacturers have I don't know if it's just me, But I watched one video all the way through of this girl talking about these Chinese manufacturers are making all these TikToks geared towards Americans, saying like,
Uh-huh.
you don't have to pay like exorbitant prices anymore. You can come straight to the source and purchase from us, you know. And then they have all these videos of or like in the background be like all these videos of these people making the goods and saying that like it's so much cheaper. This is exactly like your Lululemon Aligns. This is exactly
Uh-huh.
like your whatever restoration hardware furniture.
Uh-huh.
And so it generally, I would say the public reaction to it has been very positive and being like, oh my God, America has been lying to us. That's one side of
Yeah.
it. And then on the other side is like, how do people not know this? How do people not realize that every single thing is made in China?
Yeah.
But like the more recent ones that have gotten a lot more attention are around luxury goods and specifically Hermes, which I just think is
Oh.
so funny. Like I think I think Hermes has always been like 100% of our stuff is made in France. Um,
Yeah.
but China is saying that 80% of it is made in China and then it gets sent over to France to like they put on the finishing touches within that
Oh.
last 20%. Who knows what's true? And then 60 Minutes did a whole segment on Hermes and Hermes response was like, we don't just do finishing touches, like our artisans do everything by hand, which is why it takes so long. And in that video, unfortunately for them, like they actually say, oh, and then these bags get sent over to this workshop where they put on the finishing touches. And it's like the exact wording that they didn't want like the whole public perception to say. And they interviewed this French woman that says she's been working for Hermes for 15 years, and people were like,
Uh-huh.
"How are her hands so well manicured? Like, how come she doesn't work on any raw material? Like,
Yeah.
if the whole point was to show that they do end to end for all of their bags, like, why don't they show like someone cutting the leather or measuring the leather?" And it was
Right.
just everyone kind of like hammering things on, like folding on that last, like sewing on that last thing
Yeah. The
on the
finishing
handle part.
touches.
Yeah, exactly. The finishing touches. And there's also like Hermes is such a global company. You're showing like this little warehouse with like 50 people in it. How is it possible that
Well,
they are
I
supplying all
thought
the goods?
do you remember I listened to a podcast all about Hermes and I was like really impressed by it? But
Yeah.
they did say like each bag is done by like one artisan or whatever from start to finish. But I thought during the podcast they said they were having trouble like hiring enough people and I thought maybe they did like bring over maybe people from China to train or something. I
Wait,
forget. So like
that
maybe
sounds
it is
familiar.
still right? Like
Yeah.
maybe it's not made in China, but China made it in France, you know?
Yeah. They did actually also say in the 60 Minutes segment, they have multiple locations. It's not just one
Mm,
location for their workshops. I'm sorry, I
yeah,
don't know the actual term, but like where
that's
these bags
fine.
are
We
made.
got it.
But some of them are undisclosed. Like, why is it a
Oh,
secret? I was also thinking, I actually do think they probably do make all the bags in France. That would really tarnish their reputation. But I
yeah,
can't imagine all of their like they sell so many things. Like, are there books and their saddles or their
right.
furniture all
Not
made in
everything
France
yeah,
too?
so even in the podcast, they said not everything is handmade. So I think, like, the
But
belts are not handmade and, like, I
but
don't know what else.
are they all made in France? Like, is all the
Oh,
machinery and the
I
manufacturing in
don't know.
France?
Yeah, that I
Like,
don't
the
know.
bags I get, they probably are, but I don't think, like, Louis Vuitton has all of their stuff in Europe.
I have no idea. I
Who
mean,
knows? But it's not just the luxury goods, it's like just any brands, really. They're like, "Just come straight to us. We'll make it for you."
so was that just kind of their, like are they trying to protect themselves, or are they kinda, like, pissed off at the US and, like, this is how they're getting back at them by, like, revealing all these secrets?
I don't really know, to be honest. A lot of the videos are kind of funny. They're like, "Hello, Americans."
I
No
haven't seen
longer
any.
okay, I'll send some to you next time. There's this one
Okay.
guy on there that cracks me up. But on a related note, though, even before all the tariffs things happened last or the last
Mhm.
couple weeks. There was this white lady that lives in the Midwest I was following, and she was like, "Hi, I am your like furniture lady that like gets shipping containers sent to me from China." Did I tell you about this
Uh-huh.
already?
No.
She basically furnished her entire new luxury modern home with furniture makers directly from China. And this furniture maker, she
What?
like sourced them, found them, and I think they make stuff for restoration hardware. And she would just talk about and show like all the detailed plans that she wanted. She would literally send the uh catalog over to them. They could
Uh-huh.
custom make the measurements for her, and then they would send it back to her. And she basically like designed with them. She would just talk about how it was such an excellent experience, and it was probably a fifth of the price that she would pay in America.
Wow.
And
That's
then she
like
would
that's
show,
hard for, like, typical people to go and find someone like that, right?
I don't even know how you would find the
Yeah.
source, to be honest, but now there's a lot more of them on TikTok for clothing and apparel, and it just feels like a trend that's becoming more
Mm,
transparent. I guess it's not a
yeah.
trend, it's just like a an avenue of buying things straight from China that feels
Yeah.
a
If the
little bit.
quality is just as good, I am all for saving money, so send me the TikToks.
Well, no, we're not trying to buy everything here, Emily.
I saw some news for season 5, Emily in Paris, because I think it just started shooting or something. Did you know
What?
one of the characters is not returning?
What? Wait, Camille, right?
Yeah. How did you know?
I thought that was well known.
Oh, was it?
Wait, or maybe everyone speculated.
Oh, I don't know. I guess she's not in the credits or something. I don't
Oh,
know.
really? I thought
Yeah,
she maybe would have a little bit. What happened to her
I
at the end?
know.
Like she was pregnant?
I think she wasn't pregnant, but then she decided she wanted to be a mom or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
I think her storyline was just kind of like lost steam.
Do you think the writers wrote her out of it, or she herself no longer wanted to be
Mm,
part of Emily in
probably. I think the writers probably wrote her out of it.
Paris?
Okay, well, I guess that wasn't exciting because you already knew it. But
Sorry. Wait,
moving
okay,
to
tell me.
family health.
Yes.
Have you seen this?
No.
Apparently there was a study done, and when I tried to Google it, it's not even a new study. I think it was from like 2008, and I'm kind of annoyed that it didn't get much like publicity or awareness until now. I don't know why it got dug out, but they did a study where they put I think like polyester underwear or something on dogs.
Huh?
So they put them on like male and female dogs, and then the male dogs, their sperm count was lower and like certain other things happened. And then same thing with the females, it affected their reproductive organs.
Whoa.
And they're saying like some of the suspicion is like the polyester areas trap heat more, so maybe it like the temperature is too high. Some of it could be kind of like chemical related, but
Yeah.
they were like sort of projecting it onto people. And you know how obviously our generation, I feel like, has dealt with a lot more like fertility issues than
Yeah.
previous generations. And they're like, think about all the women in their Lululemon leggings, like super tight, hugging right around like their reproductive organs. And I was like, that's so annoying that like something like that could be impacting our lives in a way we didn't even realize. And like nobody's talking about it.
Wait, that's so interesting. But it's not our underwear though. Like our underwear
That's
is still a
true, but
protective
it's still, like,
layer.
touching our skin, right?
Yeah.
And your
Yeah.
underwear is pretty thin, like, it's not protecting you from
Right.
anything on the outside.
And like most of a lot of what we wear has some polyester in it.
Mhm. And I do think, like, all these synthetic like you've talked about it before, all these synthetic materials are getting so popular to use, and it's, like, almost impossible to avoid them, right? Like, you're trying to buy a
And
wool sweater, and it's, like, 80% not wool.
yeah, and they feel quite nice too. Like usually
Yeah.
they're a lot softer, and so you get tricked unless you really look at the labels.
Yeah. Anyway, that
That
was my
is
PSA.
that is so unfortunate. Um,
Maybe it can help someone else because you and I are done having children, but,
but
or
there's
at least
probably
I am.
other Yeah, well, no, trust me, girl, I am totally done as well. Um, but it might impact other things too, not just fertility, like our hormones and
Totally.
the way
Yes.
we yeah.
Women getting, like, perimenopause earlier or menopause earlier. It just feels like there's so many things we don't understand, and it's, like, all in the environment.
Yeah, and because of capitalism and consumerism, we're
Yeah.
kinda did a lot of this to ourselves too.
Yep. Okay,
Great,
my
well,
next one
yeah,
is so it's funny because I put this on PSA sunscreen since it's getting to be warmer weather, and we went out to, like, an outdoor lunch last weekend, and I
mhm,
thought that Cassie got really sunburnt, and I felt super guilty. I was like, "Oh my gosh, I can't believe we didn't even think to put sunscreen." So my PSA was gonna be, "Don't forget your sunscreen, everyone."
but
But now I think it actually was not sunburn. And
oh,
have you ever heard of something called fifth disease?
no, but you're laughing, so I think is it comical?
No, it's not comical at all, but I was just, like, Googling it for some reason. You know, I have a really bad habit of going down every wormhole when it comes to my kids.
Yes.
So, apparently, there is a virus that causes something that looks like your cheeks got slapped. So, they call it, like,
Oh.
slapped cheek syndrome because it causes, like, this rash that literally looks like your cheeks got slapped, but I thought it was sunburn.
Uh-huh.
Um, because Cassie had it, so I guess, like, the first day or 2, it's just on your face, and then it'll, like, spread to, like, more rash on your body. Because, like, Cassie as I was thinking about, I was like, "Why didn't she get burnt on her nose? Like, why is
Mhm,
it only on her cheeks?" And then
mhm,
it never peeled, it just kinda, like, faded.
mhm.
So, that's why I think I Googled it to see if it could be something, and then 4 days later, Charlie got it. Like, she woke up and her cheeks were all red, and I was like, "Wait, did she get sunburn? Like, what's
Wait,
going
what is
on?"
it? What is this though? Like, do they have a fever? Is it a virus?
So, it's a virus. It's caused by a virus, and it can first start out with, like, mild flu or cold-like symptoms, but I don't think it did for either of my girls, so that's why it was even more confusing. Like,
Mhm.
you can have a fever, you can have a sore throat, you can have a headache, but neither of them had that, it just went straight to the face,
Weird.
and then it just, like there's nothing you need to do, but it will just, like, fade after a few days, supposedly, and then once the rash is there, though, like, once their face is pink, they're no longer contagious. So, it's
Ugh,
so dumb, like, there's no way to prevent catching it because you don't even know that you have it until you're not contagious anymore.
that's
Um
so I've never heard of this before, and now I kinda wonder if is it different from, like, their face just being really flushed from, being really hot? Does it
um,
look different?
it looks a little different, but, like, I think the main difference is it's just there constantly, like, if they're
Mm,
having a fever and they get flushed and then it goes away when the fever goes away, that's different, but this is, like, it's
mhm.
literally, like, there for
Right, that's
24
why you thought it was a
hours.
sunburn.
Yeah, and I was just sharing because, I mean, it doesn't seem to be very serious, so it's nothing to worry about, but, like, just I thought she was sunburned, and I'm like, it could happen to a lot of parents. Like, I went
Well,
and
no,
bought
no.
aloe, and I was, like, slathering it on her.
Yeah, I feel like this is not very common, I've never heard of this, or maybe people don't know.
Yeah, I don't think people talk about it because it's like oh, and then once you get it one time, you're, like, immune for life, so it's also probably something, like, a lot of kids get, maybe the parents don't even realize, or, like,
Mhm.
they might even just be like, "Oh, they have, like, a weird rash, and then it went away," you know? So,
Yeah, yeah.
it's just a random thing, and I think it's called fifth disease because it was, like, the 5th kid's disease to be, like, recorded or something back in the day.
What a weird name.
I
Wait,
know.
so what is the official name? You told me slap cheeks or fifth
Oh, fifth
disease?
disease is what they
Is this
call it.
the
It's
official
caused
name?
by a virus called parvovirus B19. You're having me get all technical. But yeah, it's kind of like the nickname is slapped cheek syndrome or something because it
Uh-huh.
literally looks like someone slapped them on both cheeks.
Oh, thanks
Huh?
for the PSA.
Yes, you're welcome. Thanks everyone for listening.
So nice seeing you, Emily.
You
Have a great week,
too.
everyone.
Talk to you next
Bye.
week. Bye.